Typically, we'd be getting started at 5 o'clock. Chairman is not here yet, so if you guys just want to bear with us just a minute, see if we can get everybody here. We do have a quorum, and we do have the vice chairman. So technically, we could get started, but if you would. All right, folks, thank you for your patience. We actually decided, the chairman's on the way, but we're gonna go ahead and get started, work through some of the details at the beginning of this agenda so that when he does show up, he'll be able to jump right in. So I'm gonna turn it over to the vice chairman and allow him to call this meeting to order.
Bear with me, I haven't had the opportunity to do this very often. So first thing on the agenda are the minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion to approve them?
Make a motion to approve.
Is there a second? All in favor, raise your right hand. Ayes have it. Old business, this is one that we had to table last month.
As you just noted, this was tabled last month to this month with a request by the board that the town engineer come to the board and provide an explanation as to the history and what's going on with the property. In discussions with town administration as well as the town's legal counsel, they have made the determination that it is the applicant, being the owner of 303 West Richardson. It is their responsibility to provide documentation, being either an engineering report or other instrument that supports the applicant's position that the addition of the driveway has reduced the flow of water onto the neighbor's property and has actually made things better as opposed to worse. So to give the applicant the opportunity to get that information put together and create a report, we just ask that you defer this application. Might take longer than a month, but we would just say until next month at least.
All right, so we're looking for a motion to table it until next month.
Yes.
Lionel's made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor of table it until next meeting? All right. New business?
All right. So the first item under, give me 1 second, under new business is TMS number 388-0000-511-112 Winfield Forest Drive, Zone PUD Plan Unit Development owned by Ronald Nash. I apologize, there is not a setback variance. It is actually just a variance for lot coverage. Hi, Dennis.
I'm going to turn it back over to Denny for the chairman.
Absolutely. From 35% to 37% for the addition of an accessory structure. This would be a variance of ordinance section 2.10. So the need for the variance was determined at the time of permit review for the proposed screen porch. I will get there. So this is the property. And here is the site plan. So, as I said, the need for the variance was determined at the time of application for the screened-in porch. Staff feels that the applicant does not meet all 4 criteria and that a hardship is not present. Extraordinary conditions do exist on the property. This property was already close to the lot coverage limit without any additional paving or structures. B, other property in the area do have similar conditions. Most were permitted at construction right at the lot coverage limit. C, utilization of the property is not eliminated or unreasonably restricted due to the lot coverage limit. The addition of a screen porch is an amenity. The property is still usable and there is no unnecessary restriction to the use of the property. D, detriment may be caused to other properties by the issuance of a lot coverage variance. Staff feels the lot coverage variance could pose a flooding risk to other properties. as stated in other lot coverage variance requests. By continuing to approve lot coverage increases, the town is contributing to future flooding issues, both upstream and downstream of this location. If the board feels that there is a hardship and is inclined to request a variance, is inclined to approve the requested variance, staff would suggest conditioning the approval with the following: that the applicant shall install a rain barrel on the house to help mitigate the increased stormwater runoff created by the additional lot coverage. At this point, I do believe that the applicant is here. Is there an applicant for 112 Winfield Forest Drive? All right, there is not a representative present.
Do we table it or can we still?
That is up to the board. You can hear make a decision based on the information presented by the staff report, as well as, their assessment of, what they feel were, their assessment of the 4 criteria and how they feel this panned out for them. It is ultimately your decision to move forward with it or not. They were given ample notice as to the date. I sent a reminder. So
Can I make a motion that we approve the request with the stipulation of the rain barrel?
do you have the handout that I gave you?
Yep.
Do you have the reasons why? Which my review of the application showed that they did not meet all 4 criteria. The state requires that all 4 criteria are met. I felt that yes, extraordinary conditions do exist. Just because it was a unique situation, or it's not even unique anymore. Most of the lots almost town-wide are at or near the lot coverage limit. And D is an important one. I feel, and I believe engineering staff feels, that if we continue to approve lot coverage increases on individual lots, it is overloading the stormwater systems that have been put into place for these neighborhoods and can cause detriment, not necessarily visible immediately, but if enough lots, it can cause stormwater systems to break down. So if you do feel that it meets the 4 criteria, we need to document what those criteria are, so that if somebody objects, we have addressed that, and we can show that they have met those criteria based on your evaluation. So I'm happy to take the motion in a second, but we do need to address those 4 criteria.
Any questions? You have a motion?
There has not been a second yet.
I make a motion that we approve the variance based on it's only on what I look here, that it's not really extraordinary conditions, it's only a 2% lot coverage increase.
Is there a second? In favor of approving, please raise your right hand. Okay. We're opposed? Okay. It passes. Next,
Right? Number 2 under new business is TMS number 1530811020147 Spring Meadows Drive, zoned PUD planned unit development owned by Robert and Megan Williams. Variance request to increase the maximum lot coverage from 35% to 40% for the installation of a pool. Ordinance section 2.10. Again, this is a variance that was determined at the time of permit review for the proposed pool. Staff feels that the applicant does not meet all 4 criteria and that a hardship is not present. Extraordinary conditions do exist on the property. The property was above the lot coverage limit without any additional paved structures. B, other property in the area do have similar conditions. Most were permitted at construction right at the lot coverage limit. C, utilization of the property is not eliminated or unreasonably restricted due to the lot coverage limit. The addition of the pool is an amenity. The property is still usable and there is no unnecessary restriction to the use of the property. And D, detriment may be caused to other properties by the issuance of this lot coverage variance. Staff feels the lot coverage variance could pose a flooding risk to other properties. As stated in other lot coverage variance requests, by continuing to approve lot coverage increases, the town is contributing to future flooding issues both upstream and downstream of this location. If the board feels that there is a hardship and is inclined to improve the requested variance, staff would suggest conditioning the approval with the following. 1, the applicant shall install a rain barrel on the house to help mitigate the increased stormwater runoff created by the additional lot coverage. It's the lots. So as part of their application, when it was determined that they were above, they offered to remove this curve on their existing back porch and remove the shed so that they would be able to install the pool. That still results in a lot coverage of 40%, which is above what is permitted for this development. So again, if you choose to approve it, we do need to address the why. The 4 criteria do need to be addressed directly in regards to the approval of the variance.
are the Williams here? Is anybody here? Okay, would you sign in, please?
Mine is good. Yeah, so it is over, and one of the things that, I thought we could take a look because with the impervious surface is like 39.8%. And so we're not really wanting to add to it, we just want to redistribute a little bit. So when they bought the house, they're at 39.7%. So what we want to do is remove some of the concrete there, get rid of the shed that's there, and all that's counted on the pool is the coping itself, which we've got 134 square feet. One of the things that we discussed today is we can actually cut that to either 2/3 or 1/3 of that based on the coping we use, going to a stone type coping that's somewhere between 9 and 12 inches as opposed to 18, to even further reduce that. And we could be down to either 38.6 to 38.9 as opposed to the 39.7. So we like to do it, also that pool, as does the rain barrel, helps you with that because it takes about 6 inches of rain before that area even needs dirt to soak into. So, that's our proposal, is that we should reduce. Like,
So you're saying that the pool actually acts like a giant rain barrel?
that's why even on Isle of Palms, they'll let you put a pool in, you just can't add concrete. There's no impervious surface you can add to it, they'll let you put a pool, as long as it's impervious back there.
Any other questions?
So the percentage will drop down to 38 point something, you said?
We actually drop it from 39.7 to a minimum of 39.4 and as low as 38.6.
38.6. Okay.
That's a 9-inch. I mean, I've got a picture of what I showed you today. Which showed you the window size, and drop 38.9. I know it's still 39%, but we're closer to 40 right now. Just want to reach.
I have a question. What is the land like behind, along your lot line between your house and the house behind?
There's a 20-foot drainage easement that we're up against in the back of that yard.
Okay,
So the back 20 feet is still empty, but they've got basically almost 49 feet from the back lot that is empty, other than that little bit of concrete that shit. I can show you the site plan if you like.
well, I think,
Add that up.
Okay.
yeah,
Okay, I can show you if you like.
but yes, because I couldn't, when I drive all the ways around, you really can't see it.
Here's the pool, you can see.
Right.
You can see that the back part of it is a drainage easement.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I
So
thought.
we just butted up to that.
Any other questions?
So you're cutting no trees down to put this pool in?
Pardon?
I just asked if they're cutting trees down.
Okay.
Can I make a motion that we approve the request?
I'll second.
Any other discussion, questions? All in favor, raise your right hand.
Make a motion, we adjourn?
Second.